What is good people? You are now listening to another episode of At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and once again, we're joined by an extremely special guest. I had the good fortune of knowing this brother. Man, where do I begin? The home friend of the podcast, Priest Jacobs, he threw a MLK function at the Aristocrat, and this brother that I have on with me today was in the back frying the fish for this function. And brother, man, let me tell you something. That man is dead serious about his cooking. You hear me? That fish was so damn good. But I met him, actually got to chop it up with him at another event Preacher was holding the following week. And we got to chopping it up about baseball. And I was like, dude, I need you on the podcast. So without further ado, Columbia, South Carolina, chef extraordinaire, master of the culinary arts. We have my man, Chef Hector Sanchez in the building. What's good, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man? I'm blessed. I'm blessed. You know they say every day above ground is a blessed day, so can't complain.
Absolutely. So first off, let's get into what it was like for a young Hector growing up in Columbia.
Oh man, had a good childhood, man. Originally born in Brooklyn, but I'm a local boy, man. I came down here when I was 5 years old. Raised down south, Afro-Puerto Rican. So I had that blessed to be I'm that. I love down south, man. Lived here my whole life, might as well say. Had a good childhood. Grandparents, raised me. Unfortunately, like a lot of our people in the 80s, the crack epidemic, destroyed a lot of our fathers. So, our grandparents, my grandparents raised me, my little brother. Good childhood. Like I said, local boy, Columbia. I went to A.J. Lewis Greenview Elementary School. If anybody know about that, I went to Sanders, W.G. Sanders Middle School. Graduated from W.J. Keenan, Raider. Right now, the young lady playing for Coach Staley is killing it. You know what I'm saying? Big diehard Raider fan. And yeah, man, I had a good childhood and growing up. Can't complain.
Word. So Malaysia Fort Wiley, she went to Keenan?
No, it's the young lady that's playing now that's killing it. I think she's the point guard that's playing for USC right now. She's a freshman.
I believe that's her. Man, I didn't know she went to Keenan.
Yep, facts. Yep.
Wow. So what were your earliest baseball memories?
Man, shit. Let me see. Man, I can't even. I mean, I've been playing baseball my whole life, man. So so my earliest was me being Afro-Puerto Rican was something, so that kind of drew me to baseball too, and also to I'm a 90s, late 80s 90s baby, and in the Black community, the baseball was still pretty big, especially in the South. It's not like it is today, but back in our generation, we have football and baseball and basketball, of course, but baseball was just as important, man. And growing up down south, my grandfather, he's old school, straight from Blythewood, straight from the South. He loved baseball. Some of I think his great uncle had played in the Negro League. So when we used to go down to the country, all his cousins, we always played baseball. Always had a glove in my hand. Always loved baseball. I mean, I always loved sports. My whole life, that's all I did. Well, that's not all I did, but just like any other young man, I love sports, and baseball was always something drew me to baseball. I couldn't play basketball. I'm only 5'6" at best. So I wasn't nice in basketball at all. Football, I was good at, but baseball was something, once again, maybe because, my grandfather, maybe me being, Afro-Puerto Rican, that's what my heart was. But, man, from a young age, starting at 7 or 8, always had a glove in my hand.
Did you play Little League?
Yep. I played Little League at Greenview Park. Like I said, grew up in Greenview area in Columbia. I played Little League all the way from, like I said, since I remember, man. Me and my brother. My little brother's 4 years younger than me. So, our grandfather and grandmother always made sure we played sports, because we was one of those things back in late 80s and 90s. We were latchkey kids. You know what I'm saying? That's an old school term. So, but my grandfather and grandmother made sure, me and my brother stayed doing stuff. Because, once again, we got two young men by themselves. We could do some crazy, me and my brother Tay, we did some crazy, but we made sure you gotta keep it busy. So we always would play little league, always Pop Warner. So we always stayed in a sport activity. But baseball, like I said, baseball for me, well, that was my first love when it came to sports.
Word. So what position did you play?
So they started me at third base. So I always was a third baseman. So little league, third base, the hot corner. Cause I always had really you have to have a cannon. You have to have probably the strongest arm on you besides center field, I would say. You had to have quick reflexes. So from little league, played third base. But when I got to high school, the third baseman was a senior. He was one of the best players on the league, and he was gonna let freshman Hector Sanchez take third. So they moved me over to second. And I was heated. But I found, always play infield. My main position was second base. I love second base. Found out to love it. The second base, you got to have beautiful footwork. I mean, shortstop, of course, too. To me, shortstop is more the most athletic one, and center field is more athletic one on the field. But a second baseman, your footwork and your handwork got to be impeccable. And I drew to that. So second baseman, and I love defense. Always played infield. Never outfield. I didn't like outfield. That wasn't me. And so I made sure, plus my height and my stature I was built to play second or short.
So how were you offensively?
Offensively, I'm not going to lie, I was not that good. I was decent. I always was seventh hitter, seventh or leadoff because I was fast. Like I said, that's one thing I was gifted with is fast feet, quick hands and fundamentals. So I'm a real big person of fundamental and techniques. But hitting was, I don't know, man. I did it because I had to do it. I was probably a 215 hitter, at best my whole career. I'm saying 215 hitter. No home runs, a couple doubles or singles. But that's probably strange. You probably really never heard that before. But offense was never really my. I like defense because some of my favorite players was Ozzie Smith, the Wizard. Ray Ordonez, Omar Vizquel. So I always focus myself on defense because to me that was more entertaining to me. I don't know why.
Yeah,
my bad.
Those slick fielding infield, the slick infielders.
Yeah, and anyway, so every sport that I played, I got to play. I played a lot of sports all the way from rugby when I was in the Marine Corps to football. And even when I watch sports, I always look at the defense side of it. And when it comes to boxing, like one of my favorite boxers, Evander Holyfield, who was a great counterpuncher. I love defense from any, even in, I did 10 years in the Marine Corps. I was the infantry, I was a grunt. So even defensive tactics always was a defensive-minded person. So defense has always been my first love.
Nice. So who were some of your favorite opponents to play in high school?
We played Eau Claire, C.A. Johnson, and kind of such, being that we all were African-American schools, lower income. So we really weren't really big on focus on baseball. It's always been a basketball program. Those schools always been basketball programs. So Spring Valley was a good one. I think we played Dreher, which Dreher's always been known for baseball, and we always got we always got spanked. I'm not gonna lie, they'll always crush us. But I mean, yeah, man, it's I just yeah. Mm-hmm. So Spring Valley, Dreher, C.A. Johnson, AC Floor. I think we played Irmo a couple times. And Irmo back then was really good. I mean, we got spanked when we played Irmo too. Can't lie on that one, but I enjoyed it, man, because I was on the field. I like to play baseball, man.
Word. And did you take that baseball into college?
So what happened was, or when somebody wants to start with, well, what happened was about to be some BS. Now, I was really good. I got recruited. I got recruited by Atlanta University, Francis Marion, the Citadel. Was a couple colleges that that recruited me, but I was a horrible student. Once again, I'll be honest with you, school was not my thing. I was probably a 2.2 GPA guy, and I knew I knew myself if I would have went to school I would have failed. Because like I said, school was not my thing. But baseball was. But I had to come reality. But like, yo, Hector, you go to school. It's not my thing. I didn't really like it, so didn't go to school. Chose the Marine Corps instead.
Okay. And how long were you in the
Because
Marines?
I also, oh man, I did 10 years. 10 years. Actually, nine. Well, no, this 8.5 active, and I was on the med board, so I was on 7 months. So all in half, 10 years.
Okay. So Cardinals, St. Louis
Uh-huh.
Cardinals.
Yes,
When I was
yes.
talking with you, and you mentioned that you were a Cardinals fan, and then I saw you had the jacket. Yes, sir. I was like, man, and I started to think like, man, I don't think I ever talked to a Cardinals fan. So here we
Oh
are.
man. I mean, you got some of the best hitters ever. Albert Pujols, man. Stan Musial. I've been a Redbirds fan, man. So it's funny. So when I was growing up, honestly, it's one of those things. I love baseball so much. Every team was my favorite. Yeah, I was a baseball fanatic. I mean, I used to get up. Once again, I'm gonna tell how old we are. Remember, every Saturday or Friday, WGN used to show the Cubs game. I mean, channel 13. That's what we did in Columbia.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was infatuated with baseball. And the Cardinals always took the liking to the Cardinals because when I was younger, growing up, I had a fascination with birds. I love birds because to me that was like the ultimate freedom. I mean, you can see the birds fly. My grandmother used to tell me, heck, when I was little, I don't remember, but it's funny. I still do to this day. I would just stare at birds because I like that freedom. And the cardinal was just a beautiful bird to me. And my grandfather loved the St. Louis Cardinals. So of course I took a natural, liking to the Redbirds, and I fell in love with Isaac Smith, the Wizard. So I've always been a Redbirds fan and a Mets fan. Mets because I consider I'm a Southern boy. I'm a local, but I still have New York roots. So when I was little, that felt me. I felt a little connected to my New York roots. Me liking the Mets, and also the dope colorway. I'm not gonna front. A young kid, to me that was a dope colorway. So always been a Mets and Redbirds fan.
Yeah. So what were some of your favorite moments being a Cardinals and Mets fan?
Oh man, Mets, man. I mean, the Mets. I guess, man, Mets we never really. But I mean, so Redbirds, of course, is Mark McGwire. That's my time period. Well,
Yeah.
Mark and Sammy, we're going at it. So that was my favorite time period, and some of my best moments were the Redbirds. So me, like Scott Rowland was one of my favorite baseball players of all time, third baseman. Like I say,
Really?
Yeah. So I've been like I said, I'm an infielder, but I love third base. But I got moved to second base, so I fell in love. But I always still had this, because third base to me, third base and catcher is a man's man spot. I mean, you got to have some balls to play catcher and third base.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different type of person. A catcher is a different type of person. They're a little far out there, but I always like that position because it's a tough position. And Scott Rowland is one of my favorite I would say one of my favorite third basemen of all time. To me, great, probably the best third baseman. For the Redbirds. He great hitter, had a solid arm on him. Awesome fielder. Like I said, Isaac Smith, and of course Jim Edmonds.
I was about to say.
Jimmy Edmonds. I mean, he can make plays. Once again, a defense wizard, a highlight reel. And when it comes to the Mets, man, Ray Ordonez. I think he has like the highest fielding percentage ever without an error or something in a season. Ray Ordonez or Omar Vizquel. I think it's Ray Ordonez. Excellent shortstop. I mean, the Mets, we really, being a Mets fan the past 20 years, you just can't really, it's not really any kind of, celebrate. You know what I mean? And of course we're going to the Cardinals, man. I'm a pool host, even though I don't like I was never fond of the offensive side. But Pujols, I mean, just his work ethic, and I mean his longevity, and so yeah.
And speaking of the Cardinals, I used to love watching Vince Coleman and Ray Lankford too. Those were my guys.
Man.
But
Dude,
I will say they did leave a thorn in my side, because prior to this year, because I'm a Texas Rangers fan, worst sports moment of my life was Game 6 of the 2011 World Series. Oh my gosh. We were up 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Actually, no, we were literally 1 strike away from being world champions, and didn't happen. It was
and talk about,
we're gonna say Nelson Cruz mistimed that ball on the warning track, and 2 runs scored, sent it into extra innings, and then Josh Hamilton hit a solo shot in the 10th to take the lead, and then y'all tied it up in the 10th, and then when we went to the bottom of the 11th, we went to the bottom of the 11th, and I saw Lowe take the mound. I cut the TV off because I already knew what was going to happen.
It's great baseball, man. That's what it was. And I'm talking about the Texas Rangers. I was a big Pudge Rodriguez fan. I mean, you know, it had a cannon on. Me being Puerto Rican, and I always support other Puerto Rican players. Man, Pudge, man, it was probably the greatest catch of all time.
Yeah. So do you have any other favorite players that were like non-Cardinals and Mets?
Oh yeah, man. So some of my being a second baseman once again, Craig Biggio. I love Craig Biggio, man, because my style of play was almost I mimicked my style of play off him, and because I was a hard-nosed type of player. I like players that's longevity, that's stamina, and that's what every sport I played in. I've always been, done hard-nosed type of play. He's not the biggest player, he's not the fastest player, but you're not going to outwork him.
Right.
And I always took that mindset to sports I played, and even to the Marine Corps, I took that mindset. Craig Biggio, and plus, he could play defense like no other. Other good. Let me see. Of course, Sammy Sosa. Not Sammy now. I don't know what the heck Sammy. He's man. He looks like man.
He's unrecognizable.
Yo, he's pink. Like how you my skin color and you pink? Yo, he's pink though. But so Slam and Sammy. That of course. Let me see. Tim Raines. I was a big Tim Raines fan. And it sucks because Tim Raines. The only thing that sucked. The only bad thing Tim Raines, but not say he did, was he played at the same time as Ricky Henderson, because Tim Raines could have been. He was up there, I think, athletically as Tim Raines. And the crazy thing about it is, too, man. So I noticed back then during that time period, they had athletes, not like baseball now, but back then, these guys they were physical specimens, and they, could have they played college, basketball, football, and they had, I don't know, these athletes back then were amazing. Tim Raines, let me see, Ricky Henderson, of course. Me and you talked about it. That's what we talked about. Oh, Ricky, third person. Let me see who else. Man, it's so many of them, and a lot of them are old school. Well, not old school, but during 90s and early 2000s. Let me see, David Ortiz,
Big Papi.
David Ortiz, and I think a lot just has to do with his personality. He just seemed like a good dude. He's always happy. He's always jolly. And it's funny because, like I said, he couldn't play defense worth of crap, and he was an excellent hitter. But I think it just was his personality. He drew you in. What about yours?
I couldn't agree more. Just that big gregarious personality of his.
Yep.
So now we're going to get into the 5-question segment. So first and last question are the same question I ask every guest I have on here. Questions 2 through 4 are 100% random. Question number 1: what were Hector's go-to school lunch items?
The pizza joint, the square pizza,
Mm-hmm.
the square pizza with the little sausages on it. You said go to school lunch, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
That and the sloppy Joe. I love a sloppy Joe. Those two things right there, definitely. And spaghetti. Hold on, and the spaghetti joint with the honey bun, with the raisin honey bun. I mean, the raisin cinnamon bun. Those three things.
Okay, man. I think you might be the first person to name a sloppy Joe, man. That's such an underrated sandwich.
Hey, thank you. And like I said, my background is fine dining. I worked in a Michelin star restaurant. My background and my two favorite meals ever. When I say ever, so one of my favorite meals is pork fried rice and chicken wings from the Chinese spot. I love it. I love it. That's hands down. But yeah.
Man. All right. Question number 2. 3 favorite swings from players not named Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh man. Gary Sheffield. I mean, technically his swing, they'll go against, but he has such quick hands. That's what amazed me about Gary Sheffield. I mean, probably some of the quickest hands I ever seen. Albert Pujols. And Ichiro Suzuki. Ichiro.
I love his swing.
Love his swing. I mean, hey, so underrated, man. Because I don't know why. But yeah, Suzuki, of course. Ichiro. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. He step to the plate. He'll pull that sleeve up, and it's like he was a slap hitter. It's like as soon as he makes contact, he's already running towards first base.
Yep.
He has such a unique approach, and I always dug that. Question number 3. When's the first time you cooked something and thought, man, I did that shit?
My one of my signature dishes is a Chinese five spice confit duck cavatelli pasta. So it's I confit some duck and confit, cooking in duck fat. But I make my house-made Chinese five spice. I cook it, then I cure it for about 3 days. Of course, pull it apart. Then I make cavatelli pasta, which is like little hot dog buns. It's a Southern Italian style pasta, similar to water, and flour, and it basically it's a ragu. That and empanadas.
Ooh,
Which is going to be, which if you're free, me and Priest got a joint next week, February 6th. And so my menu is going to be smash burgers. I grind my own patties. It's CA beef, smash burgers. Then I'm going to do a Korean fried chicken wings, and I'm going to do an empanada.
My Lord. Ooh. Goodness, man. I almost don't even want to talk baseball no more. Question number 4. What do you like most about Colombia?
What I like most about Colombia, the people. Damn, that sounds so corny, doesn't it? People, but I think that and affordability. Even though right now, we're going through a crisis. A lot of people, can't afford rent. It's a lot of BS going on. But for me, the affordability, is because I'm blessed. Maybe because I'm blessed enough in a financial, situation that I'm blessed. But to me, the affordability in the people, and the I guess I want to say use it. I guess the small. It's so small. I like it like that. And plus, it's close to. If I want to go to the country, I can. So yeah, the affordability and people.
Yeah, good point, man. I never really considered that with Colombia is being close proximity to so many places.
Yeah. It's like I can go to Asheville if I want to go to the mountains, the beach, but also it kind of sucks because Colombia, I think it's one of the fastest growing cities in in the country because affordability is so close and because you never really hear anybody, hey, I'm moving to Columbia, South Carolina. I like it like that because the people, man, and yeah. And I love it. I don't see myself moving anywhere else. If I was to, probably somewhere in a little country. But I see myself, dying inside, and yeah, that sounds so morbid, but yeah, I can spend the rest of my life in Colombia.
Hey, that's a ringing endorsement for the city. And
Mhm.
question number 5: what was the last thing that really made you laugh?
Last thing that really made me laugh, man, I was watching let me see. I'm a big battle rap fan. It's funny,
Me
my
too.
my my kids get on me so much, man. When I listen to the car, man, I be flipping out. And I think I was listening to it was the Math Hop. No, was it the Math Hop show? It was this morning. Man, it's one of the podcasts. Angry Fan. And I was just listening to he had a couple battle rappers on there, and just they were going at it, and I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, I'm a big battle rap fan. My kids hate it, but I think it's hilarious. I like it, yeah. But
Yeah, me too.
that's one of the pillars of hip hop. A lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
Freestyle and battle rap is one of the few pillars of hip hop, and I'm a big hip hop fan.
Man, I'm gonna have to have you back on to discuss battle rap, because I'm a big battle rap fan too.
Oh man, dude, so my favorite is Head Ice. I like the old school Head Ice, T-Rex. Good.
Yeah.
I'm a battle rap fanatic.
Yeah. Rum Nitty is my guy.
Oh yeah, Rum is nice. He's probably one of the best. Yeah, he's probably one of the best punches ever. Rum is definitely Rum, Av, and B Magic. Probably the best punches ever.
Oh yes, especially B Magic.
Oh I look old B Magic was fire. The one when he went against what's the pretty nigga name? Little short dude.
Conceited?
Yeah, Conceited. When he said oh man, that battle right there was fire. And Av too, but yeah, I'm a big battle rap.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have you back on so we could chop it up about that. Anything you want to plug or promote? The floor is yours.
Man, like once again, I just want to say thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Put me in your platform. I got an event coming up. Me and Preach February 6th. Turntable Tuesdays. I'm doing a fly menu. I'm a chef down in Columbia, South Carolina, the Aristocrat. Hopefully I'll be opening my spot up soon. Come down and see me. I'm a pizzaola, really great food. Come to Columbia. I love Columbia. Come support Columbia. And Columbia's great, man.
I agree, man. I love pulling up to the metro.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And also, I think it's one of those few. It's in a deep South, but it's not. It's getting better. I'm gonna put it like this. It needs to get better faster, but we got young guys like me and you, man. It's to stay down here. Instead of moving away, we stay down here and build up a community. You can get much better. But yeah, it's Columbia is on its way there, man. It's a beautiful place. Come support Columbia.
100%. And Hector, thank you so much for being a guest on, man. I appreciate this so much, man. Great conversation.
Of course, man. Salute to you, man, Danny. What you're doing is great too, man. You're doing it for the culture, man. We're proud of you too, man.
Thanks, man. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe. Make sure you make sure you go to my YouTube page and follow me there. You can subscribe at Danny Foxworth 843. You can find all of the videos of all of my podcast episodes for this podcast, as well as my other podcasts since we last spoke with Danny Foxworth. And for Hector and myself, this has been another episode of At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. And until next time, y'all be good. 3 strikes.